Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to your favorite news destination. I'm Kabir Nakwi. You're watching Game On, and like always, we have a power-packed show that's lined up for you. Some important UEFA Champions League games that we need to talk about. Lewis Hamilton has something to tell all his fans in that red overall. But first and foremost, the Champions Trophy final, some important battles that you might want to keep a lookout for. Now, as New Zealand head back to Dubai from Pakistan for the ICC Champions Trophy final on Sunday, veteran batter Kane Williamson, he believes Rohit Sharma and the men in blues will have real clarity on how they want to operate in the tournament decider. Now, mind you, India have played and won all 4 of their matches in Dubai, including the 44-run win over the Kiwis in the last Group A league match previous Sunday. India had surprised the Kiwis with 4 spinners as Varun Chakravarti returned the figures of 5 wickets for 42 runs on his ICC Champions Trophy debut. And except for Kane Williams, other batters appeared clueless whilst chasing the 250-run target on that tricky Dubai pitch. Williamson, who scored a gritty 92-ball 102 runs to propel the Kiwis to 362 for 6 and the 50-run win over South Africa, speaking after the match, did not specifically say that India had an overright advantage of playing at one venue. He chose to compare it to New Zealand's understanding of conditions in Lahore, where they beat South Africa to set up the title showdown with Rohit Sharma led India in Dubai. Now, New Zealand had played 2 games in Lahore during the preceding tri-series involving Pakistan and South Africa as well. Williamson said, and I quote, take a look at this, "I suppose having played there in Dubai on a number of occasions, there's real clarity in how they, talking about India, want to operate. A little bit like our opportunity here in Lahore, having played a number of games at this venue, as well as I think that's part and parcel in cricket. It is what it is. India play all games in Dubai. Our focus is the next match, the location of that match, the opposition, they're all factors. Obviously, we've played India once there before as well." Now, both Williamson and Rachin Ravindra, they struck respective hundreds to fashion New Zealand's emphatic win in their semi-finals against South Africa. Williamson called Rachin Ravindra, who has scored 200s in 3 games, a special talent. And Williamson is high on confidence as well, and he's looking forward to the final. The conditions are different, so it's important that we try and take away some of those positives and be nice and clear in how we're trying to operate come 2 or 3 days' time in the final, he said, referring to New Zealand's loss to India in the last group stage match. It's a final, so it's exciting. If you go back to Rachin Ravindra, an incredibly special talent, it's always great to bat with him. He goes out and he puts the team first, and he always plays with that freedom. Now, the conditions in UAE have favored spinners, with the slow surface making stroke making tough for the top line batsmen. But the fact that New Zealand have played a game in Dubai against India can only help them in the final. That's what Williamson feels. But he also agrees that India are an outstanding team and are playing really well this championship trophy. Now that we've spoken about how the Kiwis are foreseeing this India advantage, it is going to be an emphatic showdown nonetheless. Let's also talk about some key battles that need to be looked at, and in comparison when we're talking about the Kiwis and Rohit Sharma's men head to head. Now, take a look at this. India will be expecting a much more inspired show from skipper Rohit Sharma right at the top of the innings. However, New Zealand opener Will Young has also been far from consistent. Those are the numbers on your screens. And Rohit has just 104 runs against his name from 4 innings with a strike rate of 107.21. On the other hand, Will Young, in spite of a 107-run knock against Pakistan, has managed only 150 runs from 4 innings, that too at a strike rate of 84.74. When India and New Zealand played their league match on last Sunday, Rohit Sharma was knocked out for 15 and Young managed only a 35-ball 22 runs. The next battle that one must focus on is, of course, Rachin Ravindra in the number 2 position, giving New Zealand that slight edge for having scored the 226 runs from the 3 innings in this Champions Trophy, which is the second highest for the tournament after Ben Duckett's 227. Ravindra is also the only batter in the tournament to have scored 2 centuries. Now, his counterpart, Shubman Gill, too has scored a century in his 157 runs from 4 innings in the other 3 Indian openers. That has left a lot to be desired between this particular matchup. Rachin Ravindra also gives the Kiwis a certain edge with his left-arm orthodox spin, having taken 2 wickets with an economy of 4.63. The next matchup is, of course, 2 seasoned pros at number 3 position, holding the potential and record to decide the fate of the game. That's right, we're talking about both Virat Kohli and Kane Williamson that have been in good touch in the Champions Trophy. Virat Kohli, with 217 from the 4 innings, has been India's leading scorer in the tournament, which with his 2 match winning knocks against Pakistan and Australia. Williamson, on the other hand, has compiled 189 from the previous 4 innings, including a crucial century in the semi-final against South Africa and a gritty 81-run knock against India. However, in the league encounter against New Zealand, Virat Kohli was dismissed for only 11 runs. How will that matchup fare? Who's going to come out on top? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. Number 4 on the list is, of course, Shreyas Iyer, who certainly gives India enough confidence in that head-to-head comparison with New Zealand for the number 4 position. Shreyas has been a consistent performer during the tournament and has compiled 195 runs from the last 4 innings. A 79-run knock against the Kiwis in the meeting on Sunday has been Shreyas Iyer's best in the 4 innings in Dubai, and he has been consistent. Now, on the other hand, his counterpart, Daryl Mitchell, has been struggling for rhythm, it seems. He has only 76 runs against his name, and we all know what he can possibly do with the bat from the last 4 innings, and was dismissed for a mere 17 runs in the league match against India last Sunday. On the other hand, India have been using all-round Akshar Patel at the number 4 position to maintain a left-right combination in their top order. Now, whilst Akshar Patel has managed only 80 runs from the last 4 innings at the strike rate of 74.76, his left arm spin has been quite handy in taking 5 wickets from 37 overs across 4 matches so far with an impressive economy of 4.55. However, Rohit Sharma will have to marshal his resources well to dismiss Tom Latham early once again. The New Zealand wicketkeeper batter, despite falling for only 14 in the league game against India, has posted 191 runs against Shreyas Iyer's 195 in the last 4 innings at the strike rate of 93.17 and has also, mind you, hit a century. However, batting on the slow, spin-friendly Dubai pitch will be a far more bigger challenge than the strips in Pakistan, which were loaded with quite a few runs. Now, KL Rahul, he comes up next. KL Rahul, he came up good with that unbeaten 42 run off of just 34 deliveries to help India overhaul Australia's 264 in the first semi-final on Tuesday. Indian fans are going to be expecting him to repeat the show against the other Tasmanian nation as well. As in the league game against New Zealand, the Indian wicketkeeper batter was dismissed for only 23 runs. But on the other hand, KL Rahul's counterpart, you've got Glenn Phillips, the man who does 800 push-ups every day. He, although has only 143 runs from 4 innings against his name, his 140-plus strike rate can change the course of the match in the middle or the later overs. He has also been quite handy with the ball, taking 2 wickets from 14 overs across 4 matches, and those 2 sublime catches in the group stages is something that the world just can't stop talking about. Next up on that list is another key battle. Hardik Pandya staged that rescue act for India, let's not forget, in the league match after Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, they were all dismissed cheaply. As India can prefer to test the Kiwis with the force spinner yet another time, all-rounder Hardik Pandya is going to have an important role of sharing the new ball with Mohammad Shami for the first few overs before the spinners finally come into play. And for New Zealand, Bracewell, Hardik Pandya's counterpart when we're looking at number 6 and 7, has got 6 wickets from 4 outings at an economy of 4.43, but the off-spinner had come in for some harsh treatment by the Indian batters on a spin-friendly Dubai track where he had conceded 56 runs without any success. Now, will the Kiwis like to retain him for the final? In the semi-final against South Africa, Bracewell gave away 53 runs for just the 1 wicket. But then again, whilst we're talking about this list, India is certainly going to demand more from Ravindra Jadeja with the bat and the ball. Just 18 runs from 2 innings and 4 wickets across 4 games are far below the veteran Ravindra Jadeja all-rounder's class and experience. New Zealand captain Mitchell Santner had pulled off a 31-ball 28 to help his team go past the 200 mark when the 2 teams met last. He will be looking for some more success than the solitary wicket he got for 41 runs in the last match against India. And finally, these 2 pacers can potentially turn the tide in favor of their respective teams. That's right, we're talking about Mohammad Shami, who has got 8 wickets from 32 overs for an impressive economy of 4.96. But Indian think tank used him only for 4 overs in the league match against the Kiwis. But hey, India will have to handle Matt Henry as well. And Matt Henry comes with his fair share of caution, as the New Zealand pacer had derailed the Indian innings with a couple of early blows and signed off with a 5-wicket for 42 runs. Now, Kiwis will pin all their hopes on him for some early breakthroughs. And Kiwis, beware of the mystery man, Varun Chakravarti. That's right, his 5-wicket for 42 runs was the reason behind your only defeat in the run-up to the final. That's what we're looking at right now. Varun Chakravarti versus Matt Henry and Will O'Rourke. That's the essential build-up that we're bringing to you. The probable 11s, some of those web portals are still talking about it. We're still waiting for the probable 11, but this is what the team lineups are shaping up like. And this is how the final is going to be stacked. All fingers crossed for that Sunday emphatic showdown between the men in blues and the high-flying Kiwis. Well, now that cricket is out of the way, let's also talk about some news and developments coming in from the world of sports. Mind you, the League of Champions, UEFA Champions League round of 16, the first set of matches are almost over. And when we're talking about PSG taking on Liverpool at the Parc des France, Harvey Elliott scored less than a minute after coming on as a late substitute to fire Liverpool to that stunning 1-0 win at Paris Saint-Germain in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16. Runaway Premier League leaders Liverpool had survived a barrage of attacks at Parc des Princes to keep the score at 0-0 going into the final stages of the match. Harvey Elliott was sent on to replace a quite angered Mohamed Salah right in the 86th minute and became an unlikely hero by sweeping a low shot into the corner of the net, quite rightly with his first touch of the match. Had it not been for his keeper, Harvey Elliott's late goal might have been irrelevant, but Alisson, mind you, produced a career-best display to help Liverpool survive Paris Saint-Germain's onslaught. The substitute's 87th minute strike was the only goal of the match, putting Arne Slot's team in the driving seat for a place in the quarterfinals against either Aston Villa or Club Brugge. Somehow, though Liverpool managed to come out on top and will relish having home advantage next week, though PSG coach Luis Enrique has promised a fight, although Enrique would not blame his players for their brief loss of focus in the final stage of the game, saying he is proud of his team as a whole. Mightily relieved Liverpool coach Arne Slot said PSG were the better team, the best team in the tournament, and even a draw for his side would have felt lucky after PSG dominated the game with 65% possession and carved through their opponents time after time. Talk about Barakola, talk about Osman Dembele, but somehow Alisson kept them in the game and the unlikely hero Harvey Elliott won it for them.
I think when we would have had a draw over here, we would have been already the lucky one, and that is clear for everyone. I think they were the much better team today, especially in the first half. They had a lot of open chances, 3 or 4 big chances. In the second half, they were still the better team, still had a lot of shots on target, but they were mainly from outside the box. But I knew before the game, and I saw it today again, how much quality this team has and these individual players have. Now what it tells me is that we are of course 1-0 win. If you have seen the game, it's a very good result for us, but we also felt the quality of Paris Saint-Germain. And I knew it before. They've won 10 times in a row, scored goal after goal after goal, incredible pace with the wingers. So every underlying stat shows you that they are the best team in the Champions League. So we were the league table, won it, but they were in the underlying stats the best team. So I wasn't surprised that they were so good. So we're definitely going to need our fans in a week's time.
In the other round of 16 match, Barcelona was reduced to 10 men after an early red card, but goalkeeper Wojciech Szczęsny came through when his team needed him in a hard-fought win over Benfica in the Champions League match. Szczęsny made some big saves at Benfica Stadium of Light in Barcelona's 1-0 away victory in the first leg of the round of 16 right here on Wednesday. The 34-year-old Polish goalkeeper Szczęsny has come out of retirement to join Barcelona after regular starter Marc-Andre ter Stegen sustained a serious knee injury last year. Now, Hansi Flick was delighted with his players' maturity and defensive focus, overcoming a red card for 18-year-old defender Pau Cubarsí early in the game before Rafinha struck a second-half winner. And Flick had to replace playmaker Dani Olmo with defender Ronald Araujo in the 28th minute after Cubarsí was ejected. The 18-year-old Cubarsí fouled Pavlidis from behind as the Benfica forward was just about to enter the area with only goalkeeper Szczęsny to beat. Barcelona manager Hansi Flick said he was proud of his players' effort and sacrifice as they earned a 1-0 win at Benfica despite playing most of the game with 10 men.
Such a match in 95 or 100 minutes to go to play. I think it's for everyone, for the fans, for the players, but also for the coaches. Not easy to handle, but I'm really proud. I'm very happy about my team. They doing really fantastic, and of course, what I say is really, I said to them, chapeau. I'm very proud because we managed this match really good. It's about after the 22nd minute with 10 players was not easy, and we doing really good. And this is a big win for us. But we know that we also have to play the next match, and Benfica is doing good. There's a good team, and we have to take care about that. I think this is very important to when you have a clean sheet with 10 players only. That you have a really great and fantastic goalkeeper on the pitch, and today he's doing really great, a great performance.
Well, next up was another German derby at the UEFA European stage. You got Bayern Munich striker Harry Kane, who scored in each half to guide his team to a 3-0 victory over 10-man Bayer Leverkusen in the all-German Champions League round of 16 first-leg match on Wednesday. The Bavarians earned their first victory in the last 7 matches against Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen and will take a significant advantage into next week's return. For the visitors, second in the league, just behind Bayern Munich, it was a bitterly disappointing evening filled with mistakes and sloppy defending in their worst performance of the season. The Bundesliga leaders, knocked out of the German Cup by Leverkusen, mind you, shot out of the blocks and established a 9th-minute lead through Harry Kane's powerful header. And Kane's 30th goal across all competitions ended the striker's 4-game goal drought. Leverkusen keeper Matej Kova gifted the hosts a second in the 54th minute after he dropped the ball from a Joshua Kimmich cross to allow Jamal Musiala to tap home the finish. And things got worse for the visitors when Nordi Mukiele was sent off following a second booking, and then Harry Kane sealing Bayern's comfortable win with a well-taken 75th minute penalty and his 31st goal across all competitions. The only sour note on an otherwise perfect evening for Bayern Munich came in the 58th minute when goalkeeper Manuel Neuer had to be taken off injured. The winners will now face either Feyenoord or Inter Milan in the last 8 of the prestigious coveted tournament.
Take time to analyze, to go through this bitter moment. Today everything went against us because of us. I think that we have to be responsible and try to know that we haven't performed and controlled well the details that in Champions League are so important. But as you said, it's not over until it's over. And sometimes many unexpected things happen. The mindset can change quickly. And when there is a chance, we will fight for it. We were not able to react and to get settled down, and we have given the red card and the penalty, and that has changed everything. And at the end, 3, you never know. 1 goal can change everything.
I know we're talking about the UEFA Champions League, but great news for all the clubs participating in the Club World Cup, because the world governing body for football, FIFA, has confirmed $1 billion prize money for this year's Club World Cup. The 32-team Continental Club competition will be held in the USA between the 14th of June and the 13th of July. And FIFA said the $1 billion prize purse, which will be distributed to participating clubs, will be a new benchmark for global club football. With the $2 billion prize money expected in revenues, FIFA reserves will remain untouched, and some of the money generated will also be dedicated to club football around the world. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said the same in a statement, and the statement read, I quote, "The FIFA Club World Cup will not only be the pinnacle of club football, but also a vivid demonstration of solidarity that will benefit clubs at large to a scale that no other competition has ever done. All revenue generated by the tournament will be distributed to the participating clubs and via club solidarity across the world, as FIFA will not keep even a single dollar. FIFA's reserves, which are there for global football development, will remain untouched." Now, the tournament, featuring top teams from around the world, will be held across 12 stadiums in the US and serve as a dress rehearsal for the 2026 World Cup, co-hosted by the United States, Mexico and Canada collectively. You've got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, we're talking about Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund and Lionel Messi's Inter Miami that are among the powerhouse clubs in this field and tournament. Flamengo, Palmeiras, River Plate and Fluminense also join the battle as the 4 highest ranked teams from South America. Messi and Inter Miami will open the tournament against Al Ahly at the Hard Rock Stadium on the 14th of June. And finally, take a look at this. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has also confirmed that the 2026 World Cup and the final of the tournament will feature its first ever halftime show, emulating what we see in the Super Bowl. The 48-team World Cup, to be co-hosted by the US, Canada and Mexico, will run from June 11th to July 19th next year. Tournament will feature 104 matches instead of the previous 64 games, including an additional knockout round. The final will be played at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, home of the NFL teams New York Giants and New York Jets. In an Instagram post, Infantino said that I can confirm that the first ever halftime show at a FIFA World Cup final in New York is going to take place in New Jersey in association with Global Citizen. This is what Infantino put up on his Instagram page. And FIFA will be working with international education and advocacy organization Global Citizen as well as British brand Coldplay for the halftime show, the first ever for a football FIFA tournament. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Game On. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Top news and developments right on the other side. Keep watching News9.